Yeah, when I first had my injury, one of the first things you start to think about is what am I going to do with the rest of my life. I was 29 when I had my injury, so obviously had a lot of working life ahead of me. And so, yeah, it was definitely a big question, what am I going to do? Yeah, it would have probably only been in my first couple of weeks there that me and Tanya started those conversations about what life's going to look like, what career options I might have, what study options, what options there were for work without study, and what sort of supports out there that were to be provided to me, like disability supports providers, job access, things like that, and the all sorts of different funding schemes, which was obviously really helpful. I considered a lot of options from sticking to my trade and starting my own business, and then obviously the idea of employing electricians to do the work that I could no longer do in the same capacity, to studying electrical engineering. And when I started to think about those things, it sort of, I guess, broadened my horizons, and I started to think about other career options or other types of study. I spent a lot of time in the ward speaking to other patients about their injuries and how they were coping with things, and it definitely helped me realise that I had a passion for helping others. I started to think about the options of working with people with disabilities, advocating for people with disabilities. I started to realise the gaps that were in the industry and I guess you could call it the misunderstanding of people with disabilities. Look, about 18 months after my injury, I first stepped back into the workforce in some capacity, and yeah, it was probably only a month or two after that initial start with Briometrics that new opportunities started to arise, and I just knew that I had to grab it by the neck and run with it. Whilst doing that, I met my employer, who seen me directing the people that were also involved in the Navability project and went, God, we want you. I'm hoping to continue in the position I am because I'm just enjoying it so much. It's a really steep learning curve coming from the industry I did into a completely different sector. 2 or 3 months into my employment, I still engage with Tanya, from week to week or month to month, to talk about my job role, what I'm finding easy, what I'm finding hard, and how I can work around those things, how I can speak to my employers about the ways that they can support me. From the day that I had my injury, I had it in my head that life's not over and this is a new beginning and it's going to be a good one. And it was just a matter of finding that passion and running with it. And luckily enough for me, I found it and loving it and living it every day.